What I wanted to talk about today, though, mainly, I want to bring somebody from the past because I love to talk about people who've been forgotten or not realize who they were and what they accomplished. And I want to talk about Marlon, the magician Briscoe. Very good friend of mine. I've interviewed him several times. I talked to him here and there. He was number 15, Denver Broncos. He was the first black quarterback to ever start in the NFL. And it's an amazing story. It's an amazing story. This guy, he went to University of Nebraska, Omaha, and was a quarterback. Put up amazing numbers. Only 5'11", 177 pounds. Signed in the 14th round by the Broncos. And when he signed his contract, he had them put an agreement that he would get a tryout at quarterback because he, like a lot of black athletes who were quarterbacks, when they got to the NFL, they would change them to wide receiver or cornerback or something like that. Not quarterback, cornerback. And he had him put in the contract. He even took a little less money because he wanted to be a quarterback. They never gave him a shot. To make a long story short, they had 5 quarterbacks in camp. And these quarterbacks lined up and they would make 7 to 10 throws. They had Briscoe last, and they only allowed him one throw. One throw. And he called it his ooh-wee pass. And I said, what the hell's an ooh-wee pass? And he said, I just told the receiver to run as far as he could. And I just let it go. And he said, everybody just looked and said, ooh-wee. So that was his ooh-wee pass. But they never wanted him to quarterback. So they put him as a defensive back. He got hurt. They had 3 other quarterbacks on the roster. They all got hurt after a couple of games into the season. Halftime of a game, they were down 21. They had no quarterbacks left. 2 quarterbacks that got knocked out. 1 quarterback was already out. They had nobody left, so they put him in. He brought him back. They ended up losing by 3. But to make a long story short, he started the next 14 games. Because in those days, there weren't 16-game seasons. But he started, and in 5 games, he threw 14 touchdown passes, which was a Denver Bronco record. 14 touchdown passes in 5 games. Amazing, right? He goes on to win co-rookie of the year. He averaged 17.1 yards a pass, which in those, of course, it led the league. That's unheard of. You don't see that today. Today, most quarterbacks average 6-7 yards a pass. He averaged 17.1 yards a pass, which is still 18th all time. He only played 1 year at quarterback. Anyway, off season, he gets a call from one of his teammates that the Broncos are having a quarterbacks only meeting back in Denver, and he wasn't invited. So he hops on a flight and goes there, sits in the lobby for a while and sees quarterbacks and a couple of coaches come out, all with their head down because they're embarrassed. They know what's going on. He wasn't invited, and here he is. And here comes the coach, who happened to be Lou Saban, and he said, you'll never be a quarterback for me. Imagine that in today's world. A rookie quarterback comes, throws 14 touchdown passes in 5 games, wins co-rookie of the year, and you don't want him to play quarterback the next year. They wanted him at wide receiver. So at that point, he demanded a trade. I mean, that's unheard. That's amazing that would happen to any player who had a superior year, especially a rookie. Gets traded to Buffalo Bills. He gets told they don't want him as quarterback. He moves to wide receiver, which he had never played before. That's what a spectacular athlete, but also intellect he had. He learned to be a wide receiver on the NFL level. Went on to be an All-Pro. Went on to lead the team in receptions. He gets traded to the Miami Dolphins. Wins 2 Super Bowls as a wide receiver, starting wide receiver. I remember him. He was number 86. He had more catches than the great future Hall of Famer Paul Warfield. This is how bad this cat was. Nobody talks about him. They've been talking about a movie about him for years, and it's never happened. I know it bugs him because it's an amazing story. Um, Ended up with a drug problem. Maybe one day I'll play you folks the interview, because he was a dream deferred. He never got his opportunity. You go from co-rookie of the year, setting a record that still may stand or just got broken a few years ago, 14 touchdowns in 5 games. And you never get a chance to ever, he never threw another pass in the NFL. Never threw another pass in the NFL. So that kind of stuff is just amazing to me. He's a great guy. It almost broke his spirit. It broke his heart. And that's why I said he ended up with a drug problem, but he got cleaned up years ago. Does a lot of work with kids out in his home city. So I just wanted to tell you about Marlon, the magician Briscoe. Number 15 is a quarterback. Number 86 is a wide receiver. It's a great story that needs to be told. So I just wanted to fill you in with that. And I will come back on Friday. I don't know who I'm going to talk about Friday. Whoever you folks kind of tell me to talk about, or if I've dealt with him, or whoever pops into my mind who I think has been underrated and not talked about. So thanks for listening and tuning in today to your show and mine, Bobby Ramos' Bottom Line. And thanks to everybody loving my son, Lil Bobby, who's not little anymore, with his painting escapade on the back porch. Got quite a few views with that, a couple of hundred. So I appreciate that. And he's a star. So he's a star. Thank you very much for checking it out. Check out Last Dance, I guess, Sunday. And I will catch you folks on Friday. Thanks a lot. Your show and mine, Bobby Ramos, Bottom Line.